The fire engine growled with rage as it sped away from New York's congested streets and into the station. He climbed off the vehicle and thanked his squad for good work before going over the technicalities of the mission. However, as he sat at his desk reading over documents, he heard a soft tap on the door. He turned around to see a little uniformed boy glaring at him. He was in tears after learning more about the boy. Jim was passionate about being a firefighter. Over the last 3 decades, Jim had the honor of serving in more than 5 cities in America. However, he knew he was home when he began serving at the New York City Fire Department. Being a firefighter meant more to Jim than putting out fires and rescuing a poor cat from a nearby tree. Jim was ecstatic about how much happiness saving lives provided him, and he thought there was nothing better. Until he met young Trucker, that is. Jim had been a firefighter serving in New York for more than 10 years. He knew every nook and cranny of the city. He'd seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. But an accidental encounter with Trucker would completely change everything. He'd never expected to meet a boy with such an engaging narrative to tell in his entire life. It was a regular Tuesday when Jim met young Trucker. There was nothing out of the ordinary about that day. As soon as he arrived at the station received a call from downtown New York and he immediately gathered his squad. The mission went smoothly and Jim couldn't help but feel an overwhelming sense of pride. His brigade worked hard, and this operation once again proved why he did what he did for a living. He walked to his office to document the procedure, unaware how drastically his life would change. Although the knock was soft, Jim could tell that whoever was on the other side of the barrier was eager to enter. "It's open," Jim announced, his gaze drawn back to the entrance. Jim anticipated a member from his squad to enter, but instead a toddler with a beaming smile stepped in. That was the moment Jim noticed it. As a firefighter, Jim had many kids come into the department trying to see what was going on and how the station looked. But Jim knew that there was something different with this boy. The young man was outfitted in full firefighter gear, including a small toy axe, which brought a beaming smile to Jim's face. But there was something else about him that set him apart. As he approached Jim's desk, the young man held his head up, graciously asking if he might sit down. "I want to be part of the team," he explained. Jim's heart surged, but then something unexpected occurred. A mother swiftly entered, apologizing for her son's trespass. "We've been in New York for the past 18 months, and today's our last day," she remarked. Jim's eyes widened with what she said next. "Trucker here is the biggest fan of firefighters, and with good cause. His dad's a firefighter back home in Hawaii. He wanted more than anything to see this station, and you in particular. You've been his hero throughout our stay in the city." If Jim's heart had expanded before, it was now bursting at the seams with honor and dignity. He answered, "All of this humbles me. What drew you to the city?" he inquired, the woman's smile fading in response. As she informed Jim about their trip to New York, the woman's beautiful brown eyes welled up with tears. Trucker turned out to be gravely ill, and his parents were informed that there was treatment available in New York that might help him. "Stage 4 neuroblastoma," Jim said again, repeating what the woman said. It was a type of cancer that spread from undeveloped nerve cells throughout the body. As the lady continued to speak, he brushed away hot tears. "The doctors say he has 18 months to live if we don't continue with the medication," Trucker's mother shared, with tears streaming down her face. "But these treatments have taken such a toll on him that we don't know if they're the right way forward anymore." As she began to update Jim on their situation, the woman's voice trembled. He saw a fighter with the most significant and warmest smile when he looked at Trucker. Trucker's mother started crying even more with what Jim said next. "I have an idea," Jim said, quickly calling in one of his firefighters. "This is Trucker and his mom," he introduced. "I need us to take Trucker's picture and arrange to swear him in as a junior firefighter." Jim asked Trucker's mom if they could stay for another day in New York. "I've never met a braver fighter in my life," he said. Would Trucker's mom be open to inviting her friends and family as well? Jim worked with Trucker's mom to squeeze in the ceremony before the two flew back to Hawaii. Trucker's dad, a firefighter in Maui, came to help with the preparations. 3 days after Jim had met Trucker and his mom, the New York City Fire Department swore in Trucker as their latest and most honored addition. The ceremony was a blast, and although it came to an end, it would create a ripple worldwide. Word of the 3-year-old firefighter spread like wildfire all across the globe throughout the Team Trucker hashtag. People from all nooks and crannies hailed Trucker for his fighter spirit. When the world learned of his terrible fate and the painful decision his parents were forced to make, people came in droves to show their support. How they did it was astounding. People worldwide decided Trucker should see all the world's beauty before his last day. Through donations, Trucker visited many places across the globe, inspiring people wherever he went. Although his days were swiftly counting, his smile never faded from his face, and the light in his eyes remained strong. But sadly, he succumbed to his condition, leaving behind something that no one could have ever predicted. With Trucker's passing, his parents set to create more awareness about neuroblastoma. They hope the world can understand there's no greater pain than burying one's child, and that there is also power in healing. For Captain Jim of the New York City Fire Department, Trucker had taught him what bravery, resilience, and courage were all about. He strives to emulate Trucker every day of his life.